Exercise 4, draw a net for the rectangular prism below. Remember what we said, nets, the reason why they're so useful is that they help us find surface areas. So that's going to be kind of a goal for this question here. I'm going to come over here so I have some space to actually draw it. Now, here's a question, like which one of these faces is the base? For a rectangular prism, it could be this one here, right? Why are you drawn in white? Okay, yeah, this one here. Because we have another rectangle that's directly opposite it, and all of the surrounding faces here are other rectangles. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. It could be this 10 by 15 down here at the very bottom. That could be the base, because all of the other rectangles that surround it, right, there are parallelograms for that lateral surface. It's super special in that way. So as far as a net for this goes, you can draw in a whole bunch of different ways. Let's say that I'm going to consider this one here the base. I'm going to draw that one first. So I'll draw a little rectangle here. That is 10 by 5, it looks like, 10 by 5. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the piece that it's connected to right down here on the bottom, a longer rectangle. Looks like I'm sort of running out of space, so you know what? That's not a big deal. I'll just move this down some. And then I'm going to have the other base attached to the top side of this, like so. All right, whoa, it's fantastic. All right, so basically I have that, the bottom down here, and the other base over here. Now I just have to draw in the extra little rectangles that surround this. Let's see. I'm going to draw this one in here next. It's another rectangle, right? Okay. And then let's say the top rectangle over here. The top rectangle should be the exact same size as this one. Right? Okay. And then I could either draw, let's say I draw the next one, which is basically the left-hand side. I could draw it over here, or I could draw it over here. It really doesn't matter. It's just attached to it. Okay, so here we have a net. Maybe we label some more of these pieces, like where's this 15 going to go? 15 is the height of the prism, which is the distance between those two bases, like so. All right, so again, the reason why we're drawing a net is probably because we're trying to find the surface area. And we have two kinds of surface area. We have the lateral surface area and then a total. So the lateral surface area is just all of these rectangles that are in the middle. And if I wanted to find the area of it, you could find the area of each one of these pieces. Or, you know, you could also think of the lateral surface as just a rectangle and find the area of one big rectangle. And actually, that's the way we do it in order to come up with the equation for the surface area formula for a prism. Let's take a look here. So here's a better copy of the net. And now what I'm going to do is just match up some little pieces. If I wanted to find the lateral surface area, again, I could add up each individual rectangle, or just think of that middle big rectangle as the lateral surface, just one rectangle, and find the area of it. If you're going to find the area of a rectangle, you need a base length and you need a height. Well, the height is pretty easy. It's this 15 that's right here. But what about the base length down here at the bottom? Well, this says that it's 5, and the reason why it's 5 is because it matches up with that piece right there. Those two pieces are exactly the same, right? Okay, well, this piece here is the same as the 10 that's down on the bottom. It's a rectangle, it's got to be a 10. The next piece, this one here, should match up with the 5 right there. Those two are exactly the same. And then finally, this last one does have to be a 10 because it's going to match up with this 10 whenever it wraps around there. What did we just find? Like if we add up all of these segments here, the red one, the blue one, the green one, and the purple one, if we add those things up, I get the same thing as the perimeter of this base that's right here. I didn't put the purple one down. So that's how you can find the lateral surface area very quickly. So you take the height of the prism and you multiply it by the perimeter of the base, because the perimeter of the base is basically the length of that very long rectangle, because it's got to wrap around the outside or the perimeter of that base. That makes sense, right? Okay, so as far as this goes, how would I now find the area, the total surface area? Total surface area, we're just missing two parts. Those are the two bases here. So you take the lateral surface area you just found and add in the two bases. These are just two rectangles here. But we want to kind of generalize this so it works for every kind of prism instead of just a rectangular prism. It's going to be the same kind of way. I just need a letter for the perimeter. That's easy. We use a P. And so that this is really, really generic, we're going to say that the area of this base here is a capital letter B. Capital letter B. Okay, so let's look here at the formula for the lateral surface area. We have S for lateral surface area is equal to P times H, where P is the perimeter of our base, or whatever that shape is, doesn't have to be a rectangle. And then the H is the height of the whole entire prism. If it's a right prism, of course that height is just the same thing as that lateral edge. It's the distance between the two bases. All right, and then we said if we were going to find the total surface area, the only thing left to do is add in the area of the two bases. And we're just going to generalize that with the capital letter B here. And I need two of them. So the total surface area, you take the lateral surface area that we found before, perimeter of the base times the height, and then add in two bases. So whenever we write down a formula for a given thing, whether it's capitalized or lowercase, it makes a big deal here in geometry. So a capital B means something different from a lowercase b. Capital B means the area of the base, whereas a lowercase b would be just the length of the base.